Hello, my fans, sneak peepers, and curious friends. I'm difficult and demanding. If you want to know my real name, then hold still, and I might bring your wish to fruition. Before I begin, you can find this show in iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, SoundCloud, Blueberry, Google Play Music, TuneIn, YouTube, and Stitcher. Now, unlike the other people in your life, I actually care about what you think, what you don't think, and what you try not to think about. Welcome to the Difficult and Demanding Show. I'm real, uncensored, unconventional, and shoot straight between the eyes. My show is outrageously honest with a keenly witty view into life. Yes, I said life. That's what we do every single day. We are living life. Well, some of us at least. I'm going to provide laughter, shock, while touching your inner being. Maybe your body if you're lucky. Why do I call myself difficult and demanding? Well, first, because I can. 2, because I'm not supposed to. 3, this is the most important point. It only means something if I give life to it. So, I'm going to slowly unveil you to you and give you a new life to live. Difficult and demanding is going to liberate every part of your being and maybe your body. I, your host Tara, am keeping it authentic, intriguing, and provocative. If you have entered my world, then be honest with yourself about it. You want to be here, and you know I want you here. Hello, everyone. I hope you've had a wonderful week. So let's get started. I've called this episode For Better or For Worse for a reason. Now, those of you who have been married, you can probably figure out what or where that comes from, for better or for worse. For those of you who are, the goal is to get married, you're probably familiar with those vows. And there's a percentage of you who really have no interest in getting married at all, yet I believe you've probably heard these vows before, for better or for worse. Now, what does that actually mean? It sounds like the most romantic notion in the world to know that you have found one person out of all the billions of people on this earth. You have found the one, your one, to spend the rest of your life with, for better or for worse. The idea, the notion, it's magical. It actually makes my body tingle when I think about it theoretically. But you know, I like to burst the bubble on things, and I like to break it down because as I've told you before, we sign up for some shit and we really truly do not understand what the fuck we're saying and what it actually means. Now we think we do. And we think that we would be one of those couples in which it does not fully apply. But life is not very static. It's very dynamic. It's fluid. And as I said before, we are taught things. We don't know where we got it from, but we have these beliefs. And we don't truly understand how those beliefs intertwine with our individual selves and our decisions. And then we sit back and wonder, why am I depressed? Why am I angry? Why am I lonely? Why am I unfulfilled? Well, there's a number of reasons that are creating the circumstances in which you are experiencing and feeling, but we just can't seem to nail the shit down. Well, one of them is for better or for worse. We are taught that there is a game plan. There's a roadmap to how life should be. And if you follow that game plan, that roadmap, you will always be happy. You will ensure your success and your happiness if you follow what you've been taught, what you've been told. But you and I both know that's not true. And some of you refuse to admit to yourself that you can't stand your fucking life and the person that you're sharing it with. But you can't reconcile with the fact that I was told this, I was taught this, I believe this, so this is what it should be. But it looks like it, but it does not feel like it. It does not feel right. It looks right. It sounds right, but it does not feel fucking right. And that's where we are going to begin. How does something make you feel? Fuck what other people think. Actually, fuck what you think. What you think really does not matter. What I want to focus on with you is how you feel. How you feel. That will tell you if you are living truthfully to your life's purpose, your life's path. If you are not happy, that means there is something wrong. And I don't care what you believe, what you've been told, what you've been taught. The proof is in the pudding and is how you feel. Now let's get back on track. For better or for worse. That sounds wonderful to know that no matter what you go through in life, you have found one person, the person that will be there with you through thick and thin. And trust me, there's a lot of thick and there's a lot of thin. It's one of the joys of life. And I'm being very, very sarcastic. Okay? Very sarcastic. It's one of the joys of life. The twists and the turns. You never know when you're going to get a windfall. You never know when you're going to get sucker punched and a foot up your ass. But that's the magic of life. But now you have chosen to align your journey, your life with another. You've chosen that. You've chosen to spend the rest of your life with this person. Let me guess. Because they make you feel good, right? Yes. Think about what I'm saying. Y'all know I like to peel shit the fuck apart. I usually think about things from a different perspective, and I like to share that. My brain is dynamic, extremely dynamic and analytical. And for those of you who do not know, I will share this little tidbit of information for me, because sometimes, you guys think I'm probably uncouth, uneducated, but I just want to let you know. I have a bachelor's of science degree in business with a focus in international economics. Now, if you don't know what economics is or international economics, you can think about global trade, business, finance, accounting, and all that different type of stuff. So difficult and demanding is extremely intelligent. Extremely intelligent. I may sound like I am not. That's just to fuck with all of y'all. But I'm intelligent. Now moving on. For better or for worse. You found someone and you want to spend the rest of your life with this person. Why do you want to spend the rest of your life with this person? Is it because they make you feel good? Or is it because they make you feel really fucking bad? Tell me, which one is it? Good or bad? Good or bad? Tell me, which one is it? I'll answer it for you, because you cannot speak to me right now. You have chosen this person because they make you feel really, really fucking good. Do you understand? On as many levels as possible. That's why you chose to marry the son of a bitch. Do you understand? Do you understand? I'm sure you do. Now, let's get back on point. You have chosen this one person out of all the billions of people on earth to align yourself with, to tie yourself with, legally, spiritually, financially, emotionally, mentally, as many ways as possible. You have decided to intertwine your fucking self with this other person. For better or for worse. But you chose this person over someone else because they make you feel better, right? Because if you wanted someone who could make you feel worse, then you can go back to the ex, your ex-girlfriend, your ex-boyfriend, your ex-fiance, your ex-husband and wife. You can go back to that motherfucker if you wanted someone who makes you feel worse. Do you understand what I'm saying? Keep up with me. You chose the person that's in your life, not because they make you feel bad. It's because they make you feel good. Because if you wanted to choose someone who made you feel bad, then you would go walk back into the goddamn past and you would choose one of those array of people that you've been with. But you're not going to do that, are you? No, you're not going to do that. But I think you get the gist of where I'm going. So you sign up for a life commitment through actual marriage or not, your life partner, marriage, whatever. However you choose to do it, you got that shit figured out. But keep on point with me. You actually get married. You say these beautiful vows that sounds perfect in a goddamn dream, but actually does not fully truly work in goddamn real life. No, it sounds good in theory, and we hope, we wish, and we pray that it actually applies practically, realistically in our life. But as life unfolds, you and I both know it's not true. For better, for worse. Let me ask you guys this. Which one lasts longer? Is it the better or is it the worse? Tell me what the fuck happens. Because if I would look at this as a bell curve, as a spectrum, you have worse on one side, you have better on the other side. Now, if you don't know what a bell curve is, ask goddamn Siri, okay? Call Alexis. Google the shit. I don't have time for that. You have a bell curve, and on one end, you have better. On the other end, you have worse. Now, you start on this journey of your relationship on the side of better, right? I hope you start on the side of better, because if you're starting your ass on the side of worse, there's a large probability that you'll never make it to the goddamn better side. But I'm just telling you that just in case you didn't know. If you didn't know, if you are in a relationship and you are already on the worst side, there's no chance in hell that you're ever going to make it on the better side. Okay? That's another episode, another week. But I'm going to assume most of you people started off on the better side. Now you throw in the factor of time. Time passes by. What happens over time? A lot of things happen over time, doesn't it? You change. Life changes. Things change. And as things change, you individually are going to change. And depending on how you are being influenced, how you change, that changes the dynamic of your relationship. Life is like Mother Nature. The things that occur or happen, they kind of erode you. They shape you. So the person that you were when you got married or you committed yourself, you're not exactly that same person anymore. So the person that you're in a relationship with, you may not gel as well. Your intertwining may not be as strong as it used to be. Your unification starts to weaken, erode. It's not strengthened. That's why people say we grew apart. You grew apart because every moment of every day you're changing. Now those changes may be very small, minute. Nonetheless, you are changing. Question is, are you guys moving in the same direction? Because you start off on the better side, and as time progresses, everything starts shifting in the middle to the hump on the bell curve. But you're missing the point. You're moving further away from the better side, and you're moving closer to the worse side. Now, we've already established you chose the person that you are in a relationship with because they make you feel good. But as time passes by, they don't make you feel as good. You don't feel as good in that relationship. Yet you stay because you committed yourself. You made vows, and you'll be damned if you break those vows. What kind of man or woman must you be if you cannot stay in a relationship and keep your vows, for better or for worse? We all know that life has ups and downs. And we all know that people don't want to be fucking alone. So one, at least you found someone and you have someone. May not be able to stand that motherfucker, but at least you have someone to go through the worst times with. You have someone. You may be miserable as hell, but you have someone. But the question I want to ask you is, over time, the better, most of it becomes various forms of worse. Why would we sign ourselves up to stay in worse? Why would we sign ourselves up to be a martyr? Is there something honorable about staying in a relationship that makes you utterly miserable? Now, I'm not talking about the bad things that happen in life that we can avoid, because if you have a good partnership, a true partnership, you guys can navigate that together. So I'm not talking about life circumstances. I'm talking about your relationship, your partnership, how that has moved from better to worse. So you have a relationship that's moved from better to worse. You are in a worse state. And then life is bombarding you with fucking hardship, which making your life even worse. So how do you calculate this in your head? You and I both know life is like a wheel of fortune. It's going to bring you good. It's going to bring you bad. You can't do anything about that. But what you do have a choice over is your mental, emotional, spiritual, physical, sexual well-being. You do have a choice about that. But we sit with these fake ass fucking vows that someone has come up with for whatever their reasons are. Maybe it worked for their relationship. But for some reason, humans, we like to pick things up from history and we like to bring that shit forward. But we don't understand what it really means, for better or for worse. If you already know that life is going to give you hardships, why would you voluntarily sign your goddamn life over to be worse off mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, and sexually? Why would you volunteer for that shit? Can someone answer that for me? You're saying, well, difficult and demanding. It's the right thing to do. I'm asking you, why is it the right thing to do? How is it the right thing to do? Where you're trying to say, well, life, you're not always supposed to be happy. Okay, yeah. Sometimes you are, sometimes you're not. But happiness is a goddamn choice. Now what do you want to ask me? You still haven't answered my question. Why would you continue to live a life which makes you feel your worst with the person you are with? Oh, because you were really in love before? You have that history before? You have that bond from before? But you're missing the point. That shit's in the past. You're living in a goddamn past, and your life is passing you by in the present. Why do we think it is okay for us to be unhappy? All because we said some vows that were created by someone in the past for their own particular reasons or gains. We carry that shit forward like it's etched in stone, for better or for worse. Did you really sign up for a commitment in a relationship for the worse? Because I believe if something is bad, you let that shit go. If you had a pair of shoes that were hurting your feet, some of you fools would keep wearing those goddamn shoes, but eventually you would get rid of them. You had some clothing that hurt your body, you would get rid of it. If you ate some food that's bad for you, you would get rid of it. If you lived someplace that didn't work for you, eventually you would move on and you would get rid of it. But we hold on to relationships that do not make us feel good, for better or for worse. For better or for worse. Do you understand what I'm trying to share with you? Where you're saying, I have this history. I made a commitment. I gave my word. How can I abandon this person when they sign their life, their soul, their heart, their mind, their body over to me? Well, that's the first fucking problem. Codependency. You shouldn't have signed your life, your body, your soul over to another. You guys don't understand. We are spirits in a body. We're here for a journey, for a purpose. And that purpose is not fucking misery. We are supposed to enjoy, imbibe, and take all the wonderful things and lessons that we're supposed to learn from another, to grow, to be better. Why do you grow to be better? So you can be happy, well-balanced individuals, fulfilled individuals. You don't stay on a goddamn train ride longer than you're supposed to. You're supposed to get off at the station you're supposed to get off on. But we sign up for a train ride to hell, all because we put rings on our fingers, we paid tens of thousands of dollars, had a whole bunch of people watch the shit, and we figure we have to hold this facade together. And I'm telling you, you do not. You do not have to be miserable for the rest of your life, where you're saying a lot of people depend on us. They expect our relationship, our union to stay, to be one. But why would anyone who cared about you expect you to stay in a committed relationship or a marriage when you're unhappy and when you're unfulfilled? This is basic, simple shit. Happy, unhappy, fulfilled, unfulfilled. How does anyone have a say about your happiness or your fulfillment? I don't care if it's your mother, your brother, your sister. I don't care if it's the Buddha who fell from the fucking sky. I don't care who it is. How do we allow other people's expectations and impressions to influence, to infiltrate our life, to dictate what it is that we need to be sound mind and body people? Why do we give people more power over ourselves than they should have? No one can tell you what the fuck makes you happy or fulfilled. That only person that can do that is you. So some people may have very strong opinions and views about what you should or should not do. Some people may choose to erase you from their fucking life if you choose to do something that makes you happy. But what I'm telling you, people who love you, would trust you, respect you, and honor your goddamn decisions. And if the people in your life cannot trust you, they do not respect you or your decisions, I don't care what position or title they hold in your life, they should not be there. If you are not your best person in the best state of mind, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, sexually, I'm telling you, you're wasting your fucking life away. For better or for worse. We are not here to suffer unnecessarily. You may have had good times. You may have had great memories. You may have created wonderful children. You may have built a very successful business together. You may have achieved all your goddamn dreams together. But some point in this day, in this time, in this moment, you and that person are not aligned. You're not clicking. You're not vibing. You're not working. All you got is a fucking piece of paper and some vows you said however many years ago, or for better or for worse. I'm telling you, it doesn't make any sense. Why would we voluntarily sign up, give our words, speak these words into the universe for better or for worse, when you and I both know no one likes to be miserable? No one likes to be miserable. When you say, well, it's unrealistic to expect that life is going to be, hunky-dory all the time, happy all the time. But that's not what I'm saying. At some point, it stopped working and it's worse all around. You don't vibe. It's like oil and water. It just doesn't mix. At some point you used to mix, but it doesn't mix anymore. You are different people than you were when you met and got together. Do you understand that? So if you are different today and your significant other is different today than what you guys used to be in the past, let me ask you this, hypothetically. If you were single and the person that you're married with, you met them today, knowing how you are today, you and I both know you people would not be in a goddamn relationship. Listen to what I'm saying. Let's say you met 5-10 years ago. You vibed, you clicked, you intertwined, you wanted to spend the rest of your fucking life together. So you committed yourself, whether it be through actual marriage or not, you committed yourself. You guys are going to have a life partnership. Fast forward 10 years forward. You're almost or completely different people than you used to be. Now let's hypothetically say you guys are single, you're strangers, you meet each other. You start trying to get to know each other. The new you's 10 years forward. And you realize, nice person, we have nothing in common, we don't click, we don't vibe. It was nice knowing you, it was nice meeting you, but this is as far as this relationship's going to go. The point I'm making is, you would not be in a relationship. If you were single today, the person you are today, and you met your quote unquote life partner now today, you would not be in a relationship. So if you know that if you met the person that you are actually with today in the future, and you wouldn't be in a relationship, that's a fucking sign or clue for you right there. That the relationship is wrong. It's wrong. Where you're saying, well, I committed myself 10 years ago. Let me tell you something. 10 years is the past. You're living in goddamn past. I'm asking you to be in the goddamn present, in the present moment. Because if you have not noticed, your life is passing you the fuck by. Every moment you are getting older. Every minute you are getting more miserable. What more do you want me to say? That's not what life is about. Why would you come here on this earth to end the rest of your life fucking miserable? Listen to what I said. You're born on this earth. You go through all this stuff to eventually make your dreams come true and to be happy. But you go from being happy to ending your life being complacent, unfulfilled, impotent, and miserable. That's how you want to end your life? What is the point? Tell me, what's the point of all this? To actually say, I got married, I found someone, we stayed married for the rest of our life. I am fucking miserable as hell. I wish someone would choke the fuck out of me, but at least I am married. Is that what you want your life to be? Because really, you're choosing unhappiness, unfulfilled, over being happy and fulfilled because you have some beliefs that you don't know where the fuck you got them from, but you're standing by these vows. I don't understand why we do it to ourselves. We intentionally signed up for voluntary misery. I don't understand why we do it to ourselves. And we can't see it. We're blind as hell. We're stuck. We keep trying to make some shit work that is clearly not working. We'll get rid of a pair of shoes. We will change our house. We will change any number of things that is not working for us. But when it comes to being in a relationship with someone that you're not attracted to on any level, who does not fulfill you on any level, who feels like they are sucking the very life out of your body on every single goddamn level, you will stay in that relationship. Just because it's a relationship. You think that other person can't survive without you? You think that other person can't find someone else besides you? They will be just fine. Before you came around, they had other people before you, so they can find someone after you. The point is, be happy. Be happy. And if something is not making you happy, it's okay. It's okay to say, I am not happy and I'm going to go get happy. And that happiness may not be with the person you're with. You are allowed to be happy. You do not have to sell your fucking soul, your life away just because you committed to a person. It works until it doesn't fucking work anymore. Or you're saying you may run the risk of leaving them, finding someone else, and then that person leaves you? Guys, shit happens. You got to roll the fucking dice. If you're concerned about all that, keep yourself as hot and marketable as possible. That's all I can tell you. But the fact is, you're miserable. Now, do you have to be miserable? No. But the weird thing is, the longer two people are together, the more comfortable they get with one another. And it amazes me how comfort translates into complacency and indifference. A person who said they love you, they want to spend the rest of their life with you, you're the only one for them. It's amazing that over time, comfort with another person translates into complacency and to indifference, to disrespect, to deprivation. How does that shit work? If you said, I want to spend the rest of my life with you, shouldn't you be busting your goddamn ass to make sure that person, as happy as they were in the past, they should still be feeling that level of being elated? But they're not. You think because you got them that they're yours. You think because you got them, only you can keep them. Let me tell you something, guys. Just because you have it doesn't mean you get to fucking keep it. Because first of all, it's not yours to begin with. You are not guaranteed a goddamn thing except happiness, unhappiness, death, and goddamn taxes. Do you understand? You're not guaranteed anything. So if you know that at some point you can actually lose your beloved, point blank, or to another motherfucking person, wouldn't you go above and beyond to ensure that this person just thinks you are heaven on earth? Then why do we take people for granted? Huh? Just because you're comfortable with them, why do we piss on that commitment, that honor, that relationship? Why do we take it for granted? Why do we piss on it? You think because someone said, I do, you're guaranteed what? You're not guaranteed a goddamn thing. I believe in life you should always have some level of hunger, some level of passion, desire to win, to achieve, to be the best in all you can be. You have to give more than you receive. You have to give more than you receive. You have to give more than you receive. I repeated that 3 times because if you're giving more than you receive to the other person and the other person is giving more than they receive to you, do you understand how you guys will be just happy together? And you can conquer all the misfortune that will happen in life. But we're selfish. We're selfish. We're short-sighted. And we're sacrificial. For better or for worse. I'm saying fuck that. No way in hell. That game plan, that rule book, it doesn't work. It sounds wonderful in theory, but that shit should stay in a goddamn Disney movie. We need to be more open. We need to be more aware. We need to be more spiritually inclined to what the hell we're saying and doing in our life so that we can be the best people possible. For better or for worse, no, guys. You have to be adaptable. You have to be fluid. And sometimes, the people in your life, they're not supposed to be in your life the full fucking time. Some people you got to let go. It doesn't matter if you said I do. It doesn't matter if you had kids. It doesn't matter if you built a business. It doesn't matter if you helped someone recover from a life-threatening illness. You have to understand the only thing that's constant in life is change. Change. If you look outside your window, you see things are changing around you all the time. And anytime you try to hold on to something that you're not supposed to hold on to, you get very damaged, very hurt in the process. You become very bitter, resentful, depressed, anxious, angry. Now, all those emotions are natural, but they're also self-induced. Because if you're choosing to be someplace where you actually know it's not good for you, you have no one to blame but yourself. Just because you said for better or for worse, it doesn't mean that you kill yourself on all levels in the process to make something come true that is probably not feasible anymore. It's not feasible anymore. The lifespan of your relationship may not be as long as you want or hope for, and that's a pure fact. We all would like the idea of spending 40, 50 years with another person. But those times have changed. Those days of how and when that used to happen, times are different now. For some of you, you will get that. For most of us, we will not get that because we're growing at a much rapid pace compared to how things used to be in the past. And sometimes the relationship that you're in, it can't keep up with you. You really don't know a person. You think you know them, but you don't know them. You don't know shit about another person. Because as every day goes by, you learn something and something changes. You learn something, something changes. And the funny thing is, the things that are changing are still hidden. It will rear its head in the future. That's what the funny thing we don't realize when people say we grow apart. What's really happening is every day of your life, you are changing, you're evolving. So someone learns something new about you, but every time they learn something new, there are 10 different other things that have developed that have not revealed itself that's going to come to pass in your relationship. Something to think about. And some of the things that you don't know about this person that's going to come up, you can be like, wow, if I knew that shit, I probably wouldn't be with you. Hello, yes. Hello, yes. And when you learn these new things and you realize they don't work for you, instead of moving the fuck on, you know what we do? We compromise. We settle. We turn a blind eye. We make excuses. We sweep it under the fucking rug. Hello, no, you're not supposed to do that. Hello, no, you're not supposed to do that. Those are red flags. You can't stop people from changing. But when things start popping up that does not agree with you, mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, sexually, those are red flags that it may be time for you to disintegrate yourself from that relationship and move the hell on. Just because it worked in the past and it may be working a little bit now, you have to be able to read the signs and realize this shit has a shorter lifespan than I thought, and I need to be able to get off of this boat before it sinks. Don't go down with the goddamn Titanic just because you said some fucking vows for better or for worse. No, 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 no. Now, y'all might think I'm a turncoat, disloyal, unfaithful, unreliable, have commitment issues. It's none of those above. What I do know is that I'm here to be happy. And happiness is a goddamn choice. It's easy to be miserable. It's easy to be unfulfilled. It's easy to be fucking deprived. Because all of those are a choice. It's a choice. You can grow a backbone and get a fucking pair of balls and go for your happiness, your bliss, your fulfillment. Or you can sit back on your ass, let your life pass you the fuck by, and you can die a miserable son of a bitch. You can choose. You have the power to choose. So if you have any questions, you guys know where to find me. But what I'm here to tell you, if there's only one thing you take away, do not sign yourself away for some bullshit like for better or for worse. If you wanted to be with someone who made you feel worse, you got plenty of people to choose from. Why would you commit to a person who made you feel worse? Who everything was worse in relationship? That's not why you married a person. You listen to what I said before I go. You choose to spend your life with a person, generally, for the most part, is because you feel good with that person. You feel hopeful. You feel wonderful. You feel supported. Why would you say vows for better or for worse? Don't speak that shit into existence. No one gets in a relationship to feel horrible. So when you say for better or for worse, you're basically signing your fucking death certificate of misery. No, No one chooses a goddamn relationship because it makes them feel worse. You choose a relationship because it makes you feel better. And when that relationship starts making you feel worse, you should move on. You don't stay in a fucking relationship that makes you feel bad. I don't care if you married the person. I don't care how many years you've been with. I don't care how many children you have. I don't care how much money you have tied up in a business. No one gets in a relationship with a person who makes them feel fuck all. You do it because it makes you feel good. So when you're saying for better or for worse, think about what the fuck you're saying. Think about what you're signing yourself up for. It is a falsehood. It is fake. It is wrong. It doesn't make any sense. Don't say it. It's not true. It's not true. It should not be true. If you have any questions, find me. I will speak to you all next week. Until the next time. Are you disappointed this has come to an end? Well, it doesn't have to. Reach out and follow me on Instagram at Difficult and Demanding and let me know what you think about this episode and my show. Episode 112 will be here the week of October 12th, 2020 from Difficult and Demanding.